What's going on, guys? Evan the Dark Souls enthusiast here, bringing the Dark Souls gameplay commentary on the PlayStation 3. This is going to be a continuation of my Dark Souls Let's Play gameplay series. In this video, we'll reveal one of the reasons why I struggle with Let's Plays. I'll jump right into it and just explain that here up front. I've been commentating Dark Souls for a long time, and maybe not a long time, but I've commentated a lot of Dark Souls. Probably more Dark Souls commentary than most of my other commentaries combined, unless you count sort of my archival Black Ops footage I used to commentate. But in any case, one thing I've noticed is when you do a Let's Play, sometimes, particularly in like RPGs where there's some travel time and things like that, there's just not a lot going on to justify commentating it. So if this wasn't sort of a complete, if this wasn't a complete Let's Play, I probably would have edited out near everything in this clip. But because I had not done a complete Let's Play, and some people said you should probably just do at least one full Let's Play of the game, that way when the Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition comes up for PC, you don't have to justify doing a complete Let's Play. You know, go ahead and do it now, that way it's out of the way. And I don't know, I think if I was trying to have like a channel with a lot of Dark Souls on it, then having at least one Let's Play was probably necessary, so I went ahead and went with that advice. So this is sort of a 32-minute just traveling between areas and tying up loose ends, kind of goofing around. I probably didn't do this in the most efficient manner, but I'm still going to commentate over it. So if you're not here for the commentary and you're here for like some exciting gameplay or something like that, you might want to back out now. There's no PvP, there's no bosses, there's no hidden items, nothing you might otherwise watch a gameplay for. So stay for the commentary, don't stay for the gameplay on the screen. And I apologize for that, but I guess it's just kind of part of a lateral Let's Play. But with that said, you'll notice there hasn't been any updates for maybe, updates for maybe 5 days or something like that. That is because I went home for the 4th of July holiday. I very rarely go home, and I went home for personal reasons. The health of my family was sort of in question, and not only that, but I just enjoy going home. But more so for the health reasons. When you work 2 jobs, even if you don't work a lot of total hours, when you work 2 jobs, just reconciling the schedule around a holiday can be so difficult, it's really hard to justify going home unless there's something really important going on. And there was a surgery in the family, so I felt it was important for me to go home. Also because I hadn't been home in like 3/4 a year, it seemed pretty bad if I couldn't find a way to come home for the surgery. It'd almost be like at that point I was using my family as like a holiday-only kind of thing. So I have a pretty close relationship with my family, so it's important to me to get home when I can, which is tragic because I so rarely get home. I live about 3 miles, I wish. I live about 3 hours from really any family relation, so it's definitely a bit of a struggle for both my family and I, because I have a very small family, so I guess when your family's small, every single person in it's important. Or if family is really important to you, I guess every member of your family would be important. But no need to split hairs. Moving on, because there's really nothing in this gameplay to really talk about, and there's nothing Dark Souls mechanics-wise I really want to elaborate on, and no one has really requested anything except additional PvP content. So there will be more PvP content coming to the channel. I actually find PvP more exciting than the single player at this point, but a part of me kind of want to wait for the Prepare to Die edition. When I finish the character I'm currently playing, when the Let's Play is over, it's sort of my tradition to do at least 2 or 3 gameplay videos of PvP. So once the Let's Play is over, this character will definitely get, 4 or 5 hours of uploaded PvP footage before I kind of move on to the Prepare to Die edition here in August. Or at least that's the plan, if I can capture and render PC gameplay. My hard drive speed actually kind of sucks, so it's like a SATA 2 slow hard drive. It's got lots of space, but it's just slow. So it has a hard time writing the video to it. I need to get like an SSD, solid state drive, but those are expensive, and it's just not the money I have right now. Because I actually bought a new laptop while I was on vacation. By purchased, I mean I maxed out my credit card because, I live in the United States, for those of you who don't know, and it's a credit society where it's easy to get, credit, and furthermore, it's easy to spend credit, so hence easy credit. And there's definitely inherent risk to that, but thankfully, I haven't put anything on my credit card that I won't have paid off in 2 months, but I try to keep the balance on my cards at 0, and, I have 2 credit cards, one of them's at 0, and one of them's got the cost of a laptop on it. I managed to buy a refurbished laptop, so, well, not refurbished, it's actually just outright used. There's nothing wrong with it. I bought it off the Amazon warehouse, and I thought it was a pretty good deal. Amazon has a 30-day return policy, and I'm pretty decent with computers, so if something goes horribly wrong, I can probably fix it. Although fixing a laptop is always a pain because of the way the components are so small and built. I wouldn't say it's a gaming laptop because I couldn't afford one, but I would say it's definitely a respectable PC, a respectable laptop rather. It is currently rocking. It's an i7 processor at 3. Yeah, 3. I want to say 3.4. That might be an exaggeration. It's like 3.1, I think. Yeah, it's a 3.1 gigahertz processor. Has a dedicated graphics card in NVIDIA. I believe 541. 750 gigabyte hard drive, 8 gigabytes on memory. I think that's really all of consequence really need to say when you buy a computer. Those, it has a motherboard and all the other things that computers have that I don't really need to get into details on. But I got that for $600 after shipping, so I thought that was pretty good. Even if it doesn't, I can always return it. I have 30 days to make sure everything's on its good, and of course it has an installed copy of Windows 7, so no hidden costs with that, providing it works. And since it's from Amazon in like new condition, I've had really good success with Amazon and Amazon Warehouse in the past, so we'll see what happens. In my next video, I'll probably have the laptop in hand, so I'll just have to report on the status. I'll let you guys know how it works out. I'll post the link to the model of the laptop in the description for people that are curious for whatever reason. I'm just kind of going to drift from personal topic to personal topic, guys. That's not going to change because there's just nothing gameplays wise in this video that I find too terribly exciting, at least until the end of it. But because I knew it was going to be a long commentary, since it was like a 30-minute commentary fest to complete the Let's Play, I decided I would make a little itinerary for myself here on a notepad so that I can defer to if I get stuck. And right now I'm not stuck, I'm still in the introduction, but I did want to sort of take this chance. Normally when I have some video footage that I want to commentate that isn't maybe not too exciting actually in-game, sometimes I do channel updates, so I'm going to get to that right now. A couple of subscribers have offered to do backgrounds for me because my background was thrown together by my buddy Flesh, and I like my background, but I'm always open to change. And since two people have offered, I think I can go ahead and lay out sort of what I'm envisioning for that. I have no problem using fan-made background or fan-made intros, things like that. I'm just not in a position to credit the creator. I'm also not willing to plug them in every single video I release. I obviously appreciate the work that people do for me, or presumably would do for me, but at the same time I just don't really feel inclined to forever have to, it's one thing to thank a person once, like, thank you, I really appreciate you making the intro, do like a shout out in a video, but I don't really think that, to give you a little background context, a guy had offered to make me a intro and background, and it wound up never happening because I was, you can see me failing to parry this. I'm just trying to mash and see if it'll work. Very skillful, I know, just mash the button and hope the parry goes off. I also always have a hard time parrying rapiers because I find them to be a hard weapon to parry, but that's neither here nor there. Back to what I was actually talking about, it's like they made one thing for me and then they wanted me to plug them in the description of every video, and that was when my channel was very new, and I felt in this like really weird situation where I'm like, well, I'm kind of indebted to this guy, so I feel like now I have to link him in every video, but I wasn't comfortable with that, so I wound up just being like, you know what, dude, thank you for making the intro for me. I will, I'll plug you, I'll use it once, then plug you, and that's going to be the end of it. Now, of course, that is not the current intro I use from time to time. The current intro I have with the the flashing Ego Xeno emblem, that was actually created by a friend, and he was not looking for me to plug him in every single video description, thank God. But with that said, so I would be interested, well, not interested, I would be more than happy to use fan-made content, but as always, it's very important to me to maintain complete and total creative control of my channel, because that's kind of why I did it as my own thing. I like being able to answer to myself, and I've always loved subscriber feedback because it's sometimes when you're running a channel, it can be hard to identify exactly what your demographic wants. And while I want to do my own thing, at the same time, I am interested in getting feedback on what I do. So it's kind of like I'll decide what games I want to play and how I want to commentate them, but I look to the community to tell me how that content is coming, kind of thing. So that's really where I am with this whole process. And with fan-made stuff, I am interested for a YouTube background. For those of you who want to make one, message me on YouTube and I will get in touch with you regarding the resolution I'd want it to be at and sort of the themes. But since we have time in this ultra chill gameplay commentary, and a background for my YouTube, and I am not a partner, I am not partnered with Machinima, so it has to be a background designed to work on the, the default YouTube templating, excuse me. Nothing that's put together for, the upper echelons of YouTube, because I haven't reached that point yet, and I don't know if I ever will. But typically I'd like something to be, completely non-copyrighted material, within reason. I don't think, video game owners, designers, game designers do not totally own every single image within a game, of course, but I'm not an expert on copyright law. I decided I didn't want to go to law school, so there wasn't a lot of sense in memorizing all the laws. I have a fascination with law. But digressing all over the place. The point is, I'd want it to not be a copyright violation. I would like it to be Xenogears themed, either in color or image. It has to be short. This would be if you did an intro, because certain people have offered to do me intros as well, and all the same categories still apply. For an intro, rather, I need to be short, no copyright infringement, and same with the music, no music infringement, and it would need to be limited to like 10 to 15 seconds. Because if your intro's too long, it's just annoying for everybody has to watch the videos to see the same intro over and over for more than 5 to 10 seconds, I think. So 15 would be the absolute most. Prefer to keep it around the 5 to 10 range, so anyone who wants to make an intro. Same with the wallpaper, Xenogears themed, red and black colors, Armored Core themed, stuff like that. Anyone who's actually interested in doing this can hit me up in the channel messages. I wouldn't even really be bringing this to my channel, except several people have offered, so clearly there's probably some talented graphical folks out there that are interested in maybe making something for the channel and testing their skills. I'm not sure, but I'm receptive to fan-made stuff, because I definitely do not have the expertise to make it myself. So, definitely appreciate it. I'm probably not in a position to pay. If I was actually partnered with YouTube or partnered with anyone, if I had any income whatsoever from these videos, which I assure you I do not, I would actually be willing to pay, but because I'm not getting paid to do this, I don't think I should pay someone else to help me with it. I think, why would I pay someone else when I'm not making anything myself? So, that's just kind of my logic. If you want to make something like that for me, it's on a volunteer basis. I reserve the right not to use your submission, but I will definitely give shout-outs and feedback and all that noise. So, in conclusion, if you feel like making me an intro or a background, that's cool, but I wouldn't do it if you're expecting a lot of advertisements on my small YouTube channel. If you're looking to sort of plug your own graphical abilities, go find a big YouTube channel, because you'll get way more for your money. But I've kind of belabored the point with that. I think everyone gets the message. We're only 14 minutes in, so I've got a lot more talking I can do, but not necessarily a lot of super thrilling gameplay to talk about. So we'll just move on to the next sort of topic on my quick list here. So PC gameplay update. I had talked about I wanted to bring a lot of PC gameplay to this channel, and yeah, it didn't happen yet, but it's still going to happen. I've upgraded my graphics card, and now I just need an upgraded hard drive so that I can record it, and I need a lot of things to do PC gameplay. There was a lot of equipment I didn't foresee for the commentary for the way I want to do it. So I'm using Dxtory, and that's been recording the gameplay fine, but I don't actually have a microphone well suited to live commentary, and for PC it just seemed natural to do some live commentary, because doing live commentary on console is kind of a pain in the butt for me, but on PC it wouldn't be if I had a good headset, and I don't, and I do intend to get one, but I've got to kind of wait for the money to roll in, and since I just bought a laptop, it might be a while, so we might improvise with like some post-game gameplay commentary from PC. Probably still some Dota 2. Definitely the Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition, so need to get some hardware there. I also need to get a hard drive with a faster write speed because that will, you know, increase my FPS on the video editing. Because I have a, you know, this is an i7 2.8 gigahertz, not overclocked, so my computer's probably fast enough to keep a good frame rate while I play games, but my hard drive speed is just like SATA 2, like 5400 revolutions per minute, so it's pretty weak. So one of these days I'll get a solid state drive, at least for the recordings, then I can archive it on just a big storage drive later. You guys get the idea. And speaking of those solid state drives, I wish they would come down in price a little bit, because they're very expensive, at least to me right now. The ratio of space you get is, you know, you're basically buying a really high speed hard drive in exchange for not a lot of space, and if I could afford one, I'd really enjoy using it for commentaries, for recording the live commentary. But I would also really enjoy it for, you know, I would enjoy just having my OS on it. You know, I'd like to have an SSD, solid state drive, for just my operating system, because then I could get a really sweet Windows boot time, like, you know, 5 to like 7-second Windows boot, or, you know, I've seen some of my friends with them, they can get these really sick boot times if they just have Windows on their SSD. And with that, since I've got some time to kill, when I was making my new computer, I went to talk to my buddy, and he's a computer enthusiast. I really like computers, but I wouldn't say I'm quite an enthusiast. Anyway, he had the coolest computer I've ever seen. It was completely over the top, and like he said, not a cost-efficient computer, but it was really cool. So he had like a, I don't know, top-of-the-line i7, you know, brand new i7, because it was a brand new built computer. He spared no expense. He's got access to way more money than I do, and he went a little nuts. Like, he cross-fired like 3 graphics cards, like 3 expensive graphics cards. He has like a huge power supply and a huge case, really fancy liquid cooling, like, you know, top-of-the-line motherboard. All this stuff you would do if you're kind of like pimp your ride, only with a PC, you know? I was pretty envious. You know, I like computers a lot. There's no way I could justify the expense. Even if I had the money, I don't think I could justify the expense, because it's always been my opinion when you're buying computers that it's good to be economic. I never found that buying the absolute top-of-the-line piece of equipment it's just never worth it, because it comes down in price pretty quickly when the next big thing comes, and I don't know. Especially when I was looking at my laptop, I was like, I had this problem where the $1,000 range was kind of like the $700 to $1,000 budget was where I wanted to be, and you know, it just seemed like when I was shopping for laptops, I would have been better off buying way, way cheaper, or going a little higher to get something nicer. So it's like, well, come on, go a little further with your money. Well, unfortunately, like $1,000 was my absolute budget. I was trying to stay closer to $700, but $1,000 was my absolute budget. I had no more money to spend, credit or otherwise, so it's kind of like, I could have saved for a while, but I needed a new laptop for school because I commute from work to school, so I absolutely had to have a laptop. And my old one not only sucked, but it had died, and I didn't want to put any money to get it working again to replace the dead hard drive and the dead power supply. So I don't know. I had to you know, that was a good reason to justify the expense to myself. So I was like, I either should just drop like $400 and get a PC that doesn't play games, or I should try to find some sort of deal so I can get a PC that can render my videos. If I ever need to render on the road, that would be cool. You guys get the idea. And basically I winded up with the laptop I previously described. Pretty excited about that. Should have grabbed some water. My voice is getting a little tired. I don't like to pause these things mid-commentary. Just, it's like, it feels hard to get back into the groove once you walk away. Especially on a commentary like this, where there's nothing like specifically gameplay-oriented I want to talk about. And here I'll do the treasure box monster thing. You can put him to sleep with an Estus flask. I didn't really have any particular reason for doing this. I just thought it's fun to do, and they're cheap. You know, souls are not a problem. Once you get into New Game Plus, and if you're maxing your character at a level 125, which I am, there's no reason to just not just go all the way with it. I thought about letting this treasure box live, because now that I have the items out of it, it's not of any use to me to kill it other than for the souls. And like I said, I don't really need souls because I can't level up anymore if I want to stay in my PvP range. So, I don't know, kind of a no-score draw there. But as you can see, my dexterity enables a really fast pyromancy casting speed. You know, that 45 dexterity breakpoint on pyromancy is actually really useful in both PvP and PvE. I kind of wish at some point, instead of doing like a quality build, which is this character basically is a quality build, I should have just done like a 45 dex, boulder side sword build, and just, you know, poked my enemies down, and then, you know, because it scales on dex, then, like, enchanted it with something easy to enchant. You guys get the idea. Do, like, the boulder slide sword plus pyromancy backup build. I think that would have been a pretty good build, especially because how light that sword is. I could probably put, like, something really cheap on swap, like an Evelyn, or... I'm not sure what I could put on swap. Maybe, like, an Evelyn or a Rapier. You know, it draws a lot of people from the community on YouTube, but you could always side armor Rapier and just go for it. And I have never seen that guy parry me before. It's like a revenge parry, I guess. But, and anyway, there are some things that are more relevant to cover in this commentary that's pretty important to get out in this commentary before the end, because I wouldn't want to take another commentary to hit these. So I'm just going to keep bouncing from one topic to the next. But, so the Prepare to Die edition, I'm still getting messages like, are you going to cover it? Like, absolutely. There will be Prepare to Die edition content on this channel. I own the game for 360. I own the game for PlayStation 3. Why not just waste as much money as possible and buy it on the PC, am I right? Anyway, so it's probably coming on the PC. I don't know if I'm going to do a Let's Play footage so much as I might do sort of like my original Ellie Let's Play where I covered areas that I wanted to commentate or I thought that were significant instead of just, here's everything I did. Like this commentary, here's everything I did, walking through pointless areas. Now, of course, at this point, we're actually, as part of the game, I would have commentated anyway, because we're not just going through areas now, we're actually going through the Crystal Caves. Well, not to the Crystal Cave yet, but we're going through the Duke's Archives and stuff like that, so. Finally, there's a part of the video that was really relevant. I find the Duke's Archives really boring, and the Crystal Cave to be outright annoying. I was really down with Seath the Dragon. Yeah, Seath the Dragon. I was down with that, and I was down with his lore and all that, but wasn't a huge fan of his area. I mean, I'm in this enormous, colossal library that really only he can read the books in, and there's like a cage for a giant, and random weird enemies, and annoying jumps to get Evelyn, and stuff like that. Just an annoying area. Not nearly as annoying as some other areas, but regardless, not my favorite place in the world to play. But yes, the Prepare to Die edition is coming. I hope to get my PC crap in order. That way, it can be the best quality possible. I've also been trying to work on my audio quality. I think consistently it's pretty good. I have a pretty good USB mic and all that, but I think I should put a higher bitrate on the audio sometimes, particularly because when I render at 720, the audio suffers a little bit from what would have been at 1080, at least with the rendering settings I was using. So, completely my fault on that one. I don't think most people noticed. I didn't really notice for a lot of videos, but on headphones I do pick it up. I don't pick it up from my speakers, but on headphones I can see the difference between a 1080p and a 720p rendering. I also notice you can hear my CPU fan in the background. There's just really nothing I can do about that. I'm not going to shut off my fan or something crazy like that. And it's already only spinning at like 30 revolutions according to MSI Afterburner because it's liquid cooled anyway, so I don't know. You guys get the idea. So for those of you that can hear the fan noise, I apologize. There's really nothing that I can do about it. And I should also note, if you don't see a commentary on Wednesday or Thursday, or you see a little break in the commentaries, I'm not on vacation yet. I'm actually moving. In my profession, I move a lot. So I will be moving again. And with that, sometimes it takes me a little bit to get the equipment set back up. And I might be trying to see if I should be rendering with my laptop as opposed to my desktop. So some transitions I'm testing out. The Facebook page is always where to check if you want to see where my commentaries are. I usually don't post anything on the YouTube channel because no one really sees it unless I upload a video. If I'm not uploading videos, I obviously can't upload a video saying there's no videos. But check the Facebook page. I've noticed more and more people have been checking out the Facebook page. I appreciate that. For everyone that liked the page, I really appreciate it because your quick likes allowed me to name my Facebook page, which is sort of trivial, but I really like the Facebook's /EgoZeno. Really appreciate it, guys. Thank you for that. And thank you for everyone sticking with this channel. I can't thank you guys enough. It's always nice to see the subscriber count going up and down. I only like to see it go down because I like to believe that most of my subscribers are active YouTube users. So, when YouTube starts to remove the inactives, it feels good just to know I have like a close to accurate count. And You know, I didn't think we'd be at over 1,500, 1,500 at this point, but we are, and that's great. So hopefully I can keep doing what I'm doing and building this community. Probably need to bring some more PvP content because that seems to be the most in-demand thing. Probably need to get back to the gameplay a little bit, but done so many Dark Souls Let's Play variants that it's almost like, man, what else do I talk about on the gameplay? And not only that, but Epic Name Bro, who's a huge YouTuber for Dark Souls, as everyone knows and loves him. He just keeps taking my ideas and keeps beating me to the punch. You know, he does them so well. It's like, why would I make a video doing the same thing he did? You know, his is so good. There's no need for another one. So, I don't know. Definitely not at a creator's block. You know, thankfully when this comes to this YouTube thing, I'm not normally at a creator's block so much as just kind of question the validity of what I'm doing. That's a whole other conversation for another time. Wrapping things up here, for those of you that watch this far, and you're definitely a good audience to ask, I am, in a former video on Blighttown, I was in a similar situation where it was like the 5th time I've commented at Blighttown and uploaded it to the channel, and I was like, guys, there's so much Blighttown content on this channel, like, you know, we're going to talk about some other things, which is what we're doing right now. And on that video, because the people watching would clearly be mostly interested in my commentary, I asked, let's do a subscriber question and answer. You know, I will try to answer all the questions proposed to me. You can ask the question via comments, you can ask the question via Facebook, but you may only ask one question in the interest of my time. But, you know, if I don't get back to the question, don't take it personally. I try to respond to them all, but sometimes I just miss the notification or whatever. But I really enjoyed my last subscriber Q&A. That was really fun to know what people wanted to ask me, what they were interested in, the criticisms they had, whatever. It's really interesting to get direct questions posed to me. So once again, I'm asking for that. Anyone who's interested, feel free to post a question, and I'll try to answer it in the next video. Now, of course, when it comes to this Q&A thing, you have to ask the question kind of within a week of me posting this, because I'll probably wait till next Monday. Then I'll answer all the questions that were posted on this video or on the Facebook page between then and then. I can't keep answering questions forever, because on the last Q&A video I did, you know, people are still asking questions on this rare occasion. I'm like, man, I try to respond to the comments, but I can't keep going back. So I'll try to respond to questions in the video or in the comments, preferably in the video. Almost always in the video, but we'll see what happens. So if anyone has any big questions they want to ask me, post them. If I get repeat questions, I of course don't answer them more than once. So you know, subscriber Q&A. Anyone who wants to ask me some questions, go ahead. I'd love to hear from you guys, particularly with questions. That's always what I'm most interested in, is feedback and questions. I'm just one of those kind of people. I always want to know, have a bit of a fixation in life with assessment. I believe people, professionally and personally, tend to do things without a lot of good reasons for doing it. Okay? I think on some deep philosophical level, or some superficial level, it's a big problem with the world, is people just doing things without really having a good reason to do it. So, to help remedy that problem, I always try to assess the things I'm doing, both professionally and personally. So, you know, getting my assessment data right now, guys. So, got questions? Throw them on the comments of this video, and I'll try to answer them next time. Not only that, but got feedback? Post in the comments. Always love to see it. And keep asking for PvP content if you like. It doesn't bother me to see it over and over. So, that's really all I had planned for this commentary, but we're nearing the end, so I'm not just going to drop off here. It's a chill commentary, so everyone should know what to expect. What to expect. Everyone should have known what to expect. I always get a little nervous in these commentaries. Despite having like 300 hours of commentary, I still get a little nervous sometimes. I still stutter my words. It's like George Bush, only I don't lead the nation of the United States. It's not as bad, and I'm not nearly as bad as he is. So, I don't know. It's interesting. You can do 300 hours of commentary, and someone will always point out those one little mistakes. And people are still pointing out this pronunciation stuff about, like, Japanese weapons and stuff. Like, it's never going to stop. I'm just going to mispronounce them forever. It's almost going to become like a trademark. Like, just going to pronounce them wrong forever. I think I'm over it, you know. It's an imperfect world. So, imperfect commentary, imperfect world, works out great, right? At least that's what I'm telling myself. So now that we are really about at the end of this video, one thing I wanted to kind of mention was something that happened at work today that just really bothered me, so I might as well drop it on the commentary. Someone at work was just being really, really cranky, and I get that. You know, I'm not one of those people like, you have to be nice to me at work all the time or you'll hurt my feelings and I'll never get over it. Like, no, I'm not that guy. But when I mentioned that they seemed a little off, like, you know, are you okay? You know, you're being really sassy and not super nice today. Is there anything I can do to make it better? And the reply was, being nice to you is not in my job description. And for a person I actually consider really mature and professional, that just seemed way out of left field. Like, that's always what gets you from coworkers, at least for me, is people are creatures of habit, myself included, whether they realize it or not. And when I observe coworkers and they have a certain demeanor to them, either a certain professionalism or a certain non-professionalism, a certain way of speaking, etc., I get used to it, and then that just threw me for a loop. And, you know, I'm not, like, hung up on, I'm not so much venting, like, oh my god, guys, someone wasn't nice to me at work. No. What I'm saying is, it was the fact that it came from them that just really threw me off. So I'm like, even now, I'm sitting here, normally after work's over, I'm just kind of over work, I don't take it home with me. But I am kind of sitting here wondering, like, man, the fact that they were in a bad mood isn't what's interesting to me. The fact that's interesting to me is the fact that they were unprofessional. Like, that's just an unprofessional thing to say in anybody, social or otherwise. I'll be the first to admit I don't work in the most you know, I share an office with some other people. I have my own private office, but I spend most of my working day in a public office. And I'll be the first to say it's not the most professional place in the world. And they're normally more professional than the rest of us, so maybe they're, who knows why, but it's kind of this theory like, maybe they're tired of working with unprofessional people, so now they're trying to be unprofessional too, or they're lashing out. I don't know. It's not worth analyzing or thinking about, but I can't help but be shocked when people just break those patterns. And from time to time, I guess I expect a certain amount of variance, but that one just really threw me through a loop, especially when they were like, I was like, are you having a bad day or something? They're like, no. I'm having a really good day. I've gotten a lot accomplished. This is a great day. I'm like, wow, well, you've been kind of unfriendly and rude all day to everyone but your immediate coworkers, so I don't know. Trying to figure out coworkers, man. Good way to waste energy. Just waste your time, clearly. I'm wasting my time right now. I might be wasting your time because you're listening to it. But if anyone wants to give feedback on coworkers and stuff like that, this is as good a video as any to do it, because this has been the ultimate Dark Souls chill commentary. So, anyway, now we are at the end. I appreciate everyone watching, and next time I'll try to be a little more gameplay oriented. But hey, I prefaced up front this wouldn't be a gameplay commentary. Now I'm talking over a black screen, so I appreciate you guys listening and watching. I'll see everyone next time, and as always, take care.